What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our Week 16 NFL preview and picks. As always, I have Ethan joining me here to break down this week's picks. But before we get into it, subscribe to the channel to be entered into our giveaway.
Yeah, Zach, it's great to be back, coming off a pretty strong week. And you see, I'm pretty happy about these. We came in tied the last three games, and three in a row wrong for you and three in a row right for me. Stems for
Yeah.
a nice tie here going into week 16.
Yeah. Biggest game this week, obviously Buffalo dominating Dallas. So let's see if they can get that back on the board. But first, we got to talk about the Week 15, our locks. And you went pretty good, 4-1, and myself 2-2-1, as a few ties this year on us. But we're gonna look to bounce back and both be in the green this week. And we're all taking
Sure.
spreads, no over-unders, just spreads this week. And you can see there the only ones that we have the same are the Browns -2.5 against Houston on the road. I'm going with Rams -4. I think Rams could be that NFC team this year in a wild card round that makes a surprise run. Same with the Colts. They could possibly win the AFC South as well, and I think they're a team on the rise. And then those Lions we were talking about before we started. The Lions, they can win out, be a 2 seed in NFC, and they can win the division here with a win this week. And that's big for Lions fans. It's been 30 years coming. Then the Dolphins, I think they're going to rebound with another great performance at home against Dallas. And Dallas is not good on the road this year. And I think 1.5 isn't enough.
And as for me, I'm taking my Steelers +2 at home on Saturday night. That'll be a good game. If Jake Brown has been cooking, but I think Mike Tomlin at home as an underdog has been, I don't even know the percentage, but he's been almost perfect there. And then I got Browns -2.5, like you said. Seahawks -2.5 at Tennessee. I think that's the perfect spread for me right there because I think they're going to win by 3, so that's perfect. Cardinals +4.5. I think Kyler's going to come to cook. And then I got the Giants +12 at Philly. I think that's just too many points. Philadelphia coming off back-to-back losses, and Giants playing pretty good football.
And then Thursday, which you'll see today, the game today, Saints, Rams, and this game is going to decide a lot for the playoff race and especially for the Saints, the NFC South race. I'm going with the Rams at home. They're hot right now. They're starting to figure things out. Once Kyron Williams came back in week 14, this team has been a different team. And that's what they missed, the ground game. And, as long as Kyron Williams is on the field, I see the Rams winning this one.
Yeah, I also see the Rams here, and Derek Carr had a good game last week, so he hopes to build on that. I think if they can get the run game going against this Rams front, they'll have some success. Rams in prime time, they just been playing really good. Stafford is having a really good comeback year, so I got to take the Rams at home here.
And then Saturday, Steelers, Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals here on the road, and it is tough to bet against Tomlin at home against the spread. But right now, the Bengals team is clicking, and yeah, Jamar is not playing in this one. But at least I know the offense that we're going to get from the Bengals because the Steelers' offense is just awful right now. Pickens says he doesn't want to get hurt blocking for his team, and it's really just a disaster on offense. But the defense is keeping them in games. If they can somehow manage this game to be a close game in the first half, then maybe the Steelers do pull off the upset, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, well, I'm taking the Steelers here, like I said before. I just think if they lose this game, though, there's going to be a lot of Steelers fans, angry Steelers fans, coming for Mike Tomlin's job, and I just don't think it's time for that. I don't think it's Coach T that's the cause of this. I mean, haven't had a quarterback since Ben in his prime, so I got to take the Steelers at home, though. I do like the way the Bengals are playing, and this isn't just a hate pick and a total bias pick because I think the Bengals are playing good football, but something about this game tells me the Steelers are going to win.
And then Saturday night, shouldn't have to say much here. Bills should go on the road and annihilate the Chargers, but I do think that 12-point spread could be enticing just because the team fired their coach and they still have stuff to prove. But last week showed that the Chargers team just didn't care about playing football, and it looked like they were out there just collecting a game check.
Yeah, I mean, they looked awful last week, giving up 63 points. But I'm pretty sure these interim coaches are like 6-0 after getting fired. So, Easton Stick, I do think that spread is enticing as well. I really like that. But I do like the Bills here after a blowout win. But this is the type of game where the Bills have shown that they can lose this type of game. And I don't see it. I think they've turned a new leaf. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers cover the spread here.
And my Packers go on the road to face the Panthers, who currently are on a winning streak right now at 2-12. My Packers are trending in the wrong direction. Defense has looked awful the last 2 weeks, letting Baker just absolutely the defense last week. And if the Packers want to win this one, it's going to come down to defense. And if they can stop Bryce Young and limit him under 13 points, then this Packers team should have no doubt in winning this game.
Yeah, I think the Packers are going to win as well. Panthers have not looked good. This is a big game where Jordan Love and that offense needs to get back and get rolling. And I think they're going to do it here.
In a big game for both of these teams for the playoff race. Colts go on the road, possibly could lead the AFC South here if they get a win. And same with the Falcons. They could possibly lead the NFC South if they get a win and some other things go their way. But I'm going with the Colts here on the road. They are the better team right now. And I know Heineke's starting for the Falcons. That's a little bit of an upgrade there. But the
Yeah.
Colts, they're rolling. Jonathan Taylor might be playing this week. Get him back. That's a huge addition. And it just everything's clicking right now for the Colts. And they're one of those sneaky teams you don't want to play right now.
Yeah, I think Bijan Robinson, here comes a legacy game for him. I think after the week that he had last week, I think that him and that running game are gonna really get going and upset the Colts. This is actually a huge game, which you wouldn't expect it to be. If you told me that at the beginning of the year, I would have thought you're crazy. But here we are in week 16, a couple of backup quarterbacks. But I'm excited for it. I'm here for it, and I'm gonna take the Falcons at home. I think they're just a more all-around complete team right now.
And then you have Browns, Texans, a huge game in the AFC playoff race. And if the Browns win this game, which we both have happening, they probably are going to be the 5 seed in the AFC and more than likely face that AFC South winner. But first, you got to get there. And I think the Browns are going to do it. If they had CJ Stroud, the Texans, that is, I think this might be favoriting the Texans' way. But the Browns defense is starting to figure it out again after a lapse a few weeks ago. And Flacco, back-to-back 300-yard passing games. First time since 1980s that a Browns quarterback has done that. So Flacco right now is balling, and who knows, maybe he could win comeback player of the year after only playing half of a year.
That'd be awesome. I'd be here for it. But I do think they're going to win this game. I just don't see. I think this defense is going to be all over the Texans this Sunday. They did move the ball good. The Texans, that is, they moved the ball well last week in a big comeback win. I just think the Browns defense is too tough. Myles Garrett and the whole Browns defense is just one of the best in the league. And Joe Flacco has been balling, like you said. So I think they're going to do just enough. This is going to be a close game, but I think they're going to do just enough to get the win on the road.
In a big game for those Lions, as I was talking about earlier, they're going to go on the road, cover the spread, win the division, and put themselves in a position to possibly be the 2 seed in the NFC. And it's because they have a very good run game, and Jared Goff, when they're not running the ball, play action has been excellent this year. The only thing that concerns me is the secondary, but they do get a key piece back in CJ Gardner-Johnson, or CD Deuce is what he goes by now. He's expected to be back in this one, and that's a big boost to that secondary that is.
I think the Lions win it here as well and win the division. It's going to be a pretty big battle here, but I mean, going on the road in a indoor facility, I think that offense is gonna explode again like they did last week and give the Vikings all sorts of troubles.
And a game that we won't talk about much, but we are picking different. I'm going Jets here strictly because this game's at home, and it's not common that a team that gets no points the week before comes out and lays another egg. And I think they're going to just completely flip the script here and win this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Commanders. After Brissett came in last week, they actually looked pretty competent on offense. So I don't know who's starting this week. Doesn't really matter to me. I think Washington will win it on the road, and if they don't, then they don't. I'm wrong.
In a game for the Seahawks where it's a must-win game, I think they're going to go on the road, get this win, get a little 2-game win streak going here. They're 2-5 in their last 7 games, which I don't think people realize. And that win against Philly really just revolted this franchise for these remainder 3 games. And This is where you need it to show the most, and I think the Seahawks are going to get it rolling and possibly squeak into the playoffs because right now they're in if they win out.
Yeah, if they do win, it looks like there's going to be three NFC West teams because I don't see the Rams losing again this year either. Uh, I got to take Seattle on the road. Just been a better team. Titans have been up and down. I do like Will Levis though because I mean he's shown that he can be their franchise quarterback and he's at least proven that he should be there another year. But said that, I got to take the Seahawks. I think their run game is going to go crazy along with DK Metcalf this week.
Then moving to the 4 o'clock games, coin flip game. Vegas doesn't even know who's going to win. I'm going with the Jaguars here, and I say this because they need a win, and the Bucks right here at 7-7. Obviously, they need to win too, but the Jaguars, it just seems like they, need it. If they don't win this game, I think they don't make the playoffs. It's one of those kind of games for them, and if Lawrence plays, even battling a concussion, that's great. But if he doesn't play, then I think that spread might go to Bucks' favor, and you might see the Bucks win this one.
Well, I think Tampa's been playing really well recently, and I think they are going to win this one. Jacksonville hasn't been playing as good. Trevor Lawrence didn't practice today, so there's another one. Just that offense has been balling with Bake Show and Mike Evans and Godwin. They just got all the weapons for Baker, and I think it continues this week at home against a not so good, at least haven't been playing so good on defense recently in the Jaguars.
At 425, a game that I'm surprised the Bears are favored by 4. I think this one should probably be like a 1 point spread, 1.5.
Mhm.
And the Cardinals are going to come on the road and beat the Bears here. Not that the Bears are playing bad football, but the Cardinals are clicking right now. Even though they haven't won here and the record doesn't show it, they're
Yeah.
fully healthy. They're starting to put pieces together and look good. And Marquise Brown didn't even do much last week because he got hurt. And if he's healthy, fully loaded in this
Yeah.
one might be one of those games where you're going to turn it in and it's going to be 24-24 with possibly 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm excited to watch it in this late slate. I got to take the Cardinals as well. They have been clicking on offense, and you're right. They are 3-11, just been losing the games just barely. They did score like 28 against one of the best defenses in the league in the 49ers. The Bears defense has been playing really good as of late, but I think Kyler's gonna get it going this week with Trey McBride, who's been a top 5 tight end.
And the biggest game probably of the week, Cowboys, Dolphins. These two teams are still looking to get a 1 seed in their conference. And I'm liking the Dolphins here in this one. Obviously I took them to win by a 1.5, and I think they win by at least a touchdown here. Dallas last week really showed that they are susceptible of the run. And well, the Dolphins, they don't just run the ball, they run it probably the fastest in the league and you can't stop speed. If you have 3 Micah Parsons out there, I think it's still gonna be tough to contain Tyreek, Mostert, and Achane. And one of those three is gonna absolutely obliterate and take the top off this Cowboys defense, whether it's running it through the hole or just throwing deep balls. And I don't know, this Dolphins team, they're starting to click. And the Cowboys, well, they're trending downward right now after that disappointing loss in Buffalo.
Well, I think the Cowboys are going to win it here. I do agree with it's going to be tough to stop that run game and Tyreek Hill at the same time. I think they're going to do it enough. It's going to be a shootout. I know Dax is going to be coming out firing this week. And the Dolphins defense over the last 5 games has been really good. It's been probably the best defense in the league. Watch out for that. But I think it changes here. Just Dallas cannot drop this game just for their egos. I mean, losing like that 2 straight going into the final stretch of the season is not good for them. They definitely can hear the critics saying they're going to have a first round exit after a 12-win year. So they got to get a win here, and I think they'll do it.
And then Sunday Night Football, unfortunately, they didn't flex this one and
Yeah.
switch it with that Cowboys and Dolphins game. But we got Patriots Broncos, and I'm probably not going to watch this one. Just be actually celebrating with my family Christmas and enjoying a good time with my family. So I'm going to take the Broncos in this one, not watch a minute of it.
Yeah, no, me either. I'm going to be hanging out with the family, and but yeah, Denver should definitely win this game. It's gonna be a boring game. I feel bad for whoever's gonna actually sit down and watch this one.
And then on Christmas, It'll be on in the background, but the Chiefs should take care of business here against the Raiders. But the Chiefs have really struggled here in these recent weeks, and I get last week's win and what happened, but they just need to figure out who Mahomes can actually trust in the wide receiver room. Right now it's Rashee Rice and who is the biggest question mark, and it's Kelsey and Rice, and if neither of those guys get the ball, big question mark there.
Mhm.
And this offseason, they got to address it. Spend 3, 4 draft picks on receivers, whether it's first, second, third, or 6, 5, 6, and seventh round. Go make some moves at receiver. Give Mahomes some more weapons. And
Yeah.
from this standpoint, though, they're going to get the win, get to 10 wins.
Yeah, I'm with you on the wide receiver take. I think Kelsey and Rashee Rice though are gonna have big games this week. I think they're gonna put all the critics aside. I mean, they could still host the AFC Championship game pretty easily, actually. So you got to take the Chiefs here. I think that they're just a better team. Raiders obviously playing better as of late. Besides that 0 point loss, but that's in their rearview mirror. I just think the Chiefs are too good this week.
And 4:30, Cowboys fans are going to be rooting for the Giants and Tommy DeVito, which is polar opposite of what Cowboys fans are. And that's just crazy to me to think that the Eagles are in a position where 2 weeks ago it was their division to lose. And now they got to rely on the Cowboys to lose, and they win out at best for this to happen. I think they're going to get a win here. So if you go off my results, the Eagles are going to be leading the division by a game with two
Yep.
weeks to go. Covering, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Anything over 10 points in the NFL is kind of a high spread, but don't be shocked if it happens because this offense needs to explode.
Yeah, and the Eagles have a really easy schedule coming up, so that's going to be interesting to see. I think they go Giants, Cardinals, Giants again. So they should win out and win this division. And I think they're going to win it this week, starting this week. Like I said, I do like the Giants spread here though.
And on the night of Christmas, the biggest game of them all this week and a possible Super Bowl preview, Ravens, Niners. And my head is telling me take the Ravens here and pull off an upset, but my gut's telling me go with the Niners. You can't bet against the Niners and Purdy in that offense. And that's what I'm doing. I'm sticking with the Niners here. I think 5.5 is a little high for the spread. I think it would be more of a 2.5 spread just because these teams have respectfully been the best teams in their conference. It's going to come down to him. And if he can expose this Ravens secondary in the middle, get the middle of the field in his favor, then good luck trying to stop this Niner offense because they have a guy named Christian McCaffrey that can, do everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great game. Two great defenses. I think the Niners, they just have too many weapons for the Ravens to be able to stop them all game long. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than what a lot of people are saying. I think the under will probably cash there. It's going to be a good game, and I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a battle, but Niners at home. I think if Baltimore was at home, it'd be a different story. I might take Baltimore. 5.5 is a tough spread to take because if they win by a touchdown, they cover. So I'd lean San Francisco with the spread as well, and they're going to get the win.
And that's going to be it for our picks this week. Come back next week to see how we did, and we'll break down weeks 17 and 18. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel to be updated on all of our recent videos. But
Yep.
until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.